Peace to the family. Peace, peace. Peace, love, and light. Fire. Wagwan, bedroom. Peace, y'all. Ron King. Fire Medea. You the legend. Peace, y'all. Peace, peace. Just wanted to share. You know, today is a powerful portal day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is papaya, pineapple, and ginger. The base of it is coconut milk. You don't gotta put no sweets in it or nothing like that. It's already, you know, the pineapple gives it a pre-sweetened taste. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. Papaya gonna get you going to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt. If you have any issues with being regular, you know what I'm saying? This is a non-dairy muffin that I got from Decal Farmers Market. If anybody's in Atlanta and you just are interested in, you know, taking that journey, the health journey, you might have difficulties finding things that are pleasing to your palate or things that you regularly enjoy, right? So this is like a carrot muffin with no dairy and no eggs in it. You know what I mean? And that's one of my guilty pleasures. I love them. I don't even eat carrots outside of that. Right? Rest in peace, Dr. Sadie. So, you know, today is 8/8. August 8th is the Lionsgate's portal. So I just wanted to speak to you briefly on that. You might be off to your start today. You might be mindful that it's a high frequency portal day. You might not be. So I just wanted to share this information with you so you could be informed to make better decisions, or you could be cognizant of a surge in energy that might be coming into your world, your life, or what have you, and you could be able to make sense of it all, right? So we're going to explain what the 8/8 portal entails, what is the Lionsgate and everything, right? So anybody ever out there seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? This is the very first Indiana Jones movie. Anybody ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? Well, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, they had a scene in there where Indiana Jones was in a temple in Kemet, right? It might have even been Giza. You know what I'm saying? He was in the temple, and the temple lined up, right? There was a slit, there was an opening in the temple, and then they showed you the alignment. The constellations lined up perfectly, and then the light came from the cosmos, and it beamed down into the pyramid through the slit, and it was able to contact him directly. It might have been on his third eye or what have you, right? He was able to orient himself with cosmic energy that was coming directly from the star system Sirius, okay, the dog star, right? Case in point, yesterday when we were speaking about this uptick in violent activity in this country, and the fact that rituals such as this normally happen in what's called the Jason months. That's July, August, September, October, November. And they more than likely are going to happen during the dog days of summer. Right? Why they call it dog days of summer? Because this is the time, right, of the calendar period when we are under the strongest influence of the star Sirius, which this country is orientated towards. The birth date of this country, which is July 4th, technically is July 2nd, because that's when they signed that document, right? It is technically orientated towards the perfect alignment with the Sirius constellation. So somebody in the planning of this country was cognizant of your ancient African mystery systems, and I don't think that it's just enough to say, oh, it was Benjamin Banneker Bay and he laid out, the architecture of DC to make sure that everything was in alignment with these celestial constellations. These fraternal organizations have always been in possession of this information because they are the result of the fallout from the priesthood and everything else. And like I said, if they was practicing this in Kemet anyway, if they was orientating the Giza pyramids to line up directly with the Orion belt, these were people who were super cognizant of a terrestrial celestial connection, right? A correlation between this plane of existence and the celestial canopy that's above us, the stars, right? The spheres, the moving bodies, okay? Yes, Sirius is Subdet, right? Or the female dog, the bitch, right? Or Set, Isis, all of these elaborate names for her. Today is her day, okay? So Sirius and the sun, perfectly aligned. That energy is hitting the planet right now. Okay? 8/8, it's the portal day. As the legend or the story goes, right? Because Sirius is in the constellation of Cancer, which it would serve us better to refer to the more of the ancient title, which is Kepra, the beetle, more than the crab, right? If you look at the characteristics of the beetle, you know what I'm saying? And the reason that they symbolize the beetle as the bringer of life, or made the beetle connection or correlation with the sun, is because the beetle pushes the dungs up on its hind legs, and they made that correlation to the rising of the sun daily. You know what I'm saying? They say the beetle pushes the sun up daily. Now, these are characterizations. These are allegories, of course, right? But these were based on your ancestors' observation of nature and natural cycles, and that's how they was able to predetermine, what they were going to utilize as symbols to teach these stories, right? Or teach this information. So that's why they chose the beetle, which in Kemet was called Kepra, right? Later on, that got replaced with, I don't know whether the Greeks did it, but it got replaced with the crab. And hence we have Cancer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Aquarius Maximus and the work that she's done showing our connection as melanated people from the mother continent, from the motherland, our connection with the constellation of Cancer under the sign of Cancer. So Cancer and Leo, there's a relationship there. So Sirius is making its presence known in the sign of Cancer, in the constellation of Cancer. You know what I'm saying? Cancer is the mother. Sirius is, the great mother. It's all set. She's Isis. You know what I'm saying? And then when we move into Leo, which is the lion, right? Then that particular alignment takes place. And it takes place, on or about today, when the sun and Sirius are perfectly aligned. Sirius has risen. You know what I'm saying? This is also hallmarked by the inundation of the Nile. The Nile is starting to flood over, right? And deposit soot, black soil, from which new life is going to spring forth, right? This is going into the whole aspect of the harvesting season. And this is how our ancestors survived in these particular regions of the planet. So their survival was based on their necessities, which were food, you know what I mean? So their observation of nature was primarily fixed around, the cycles, the things that mattered most, which were, the flooding season, the harvest season, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't really caught up in, the next episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Right? Yes. The rising of the Happy, right? The Happy River. So, that's what's going on right now. You know what I mean? We're in the throes of all of that energy. You know what I'm saying? And these are marvelous times. So, you want to be mindful of your energy today. You want to be mindful of your thoughts, right? You treat it like Big Mama's looking at you, right? If you got a nana or something like that to transition, you know what I'm saying, to the realm of the ancestors, put that in the back of your mind. Be like, yo, Nana times 100, right? Because it's Nana, she's coming with the council of Nanas and shit. Nana's looking at me today. Nana's being observer. What's the word? Nana's observing me. I'm not even gonna get all extra syllable with the shit, right? Nana is making an observation of me today. So if you do the shit today that you would do if Nana was looking at you, right? And you don't do the shit that you would normally do if Nana was looking at you, right? So it's the highest point of one of the deities that we held to the highest regards. You know what I'm saying? She's at her highest point today. You should be at your highest point. You know what I'm saying? Your energy should be on an uptick. If it's not, just be observant of it. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on in your world and your universe that you need to change. This might be something that you need less of, and it might be something that you need more of. That's all based on your own observations of your day-to-day. You know what you need, and you know what you need less of. Right? Yeah. So collective meditation and prayer, that would be good for a day like today. Let me tell you what we did last year on today. Last year, this day, unbeknownst to me, right? Sound like I'm at a barbershop. Why is that? Oh, the insects, they sound like clippers and shit? Okay. Last year, this time, I found myself in Brooklyn, and we were protesting the Korean hair salon that put hands on a nana, a grandmother, right? The Korean nail salon that physically assaulted a grandmother out in Flatbush, Brooklyn, right? We protested that venue last year this time. Unbeknownst to me, the number of the nail salon was 888 Nostrand Avenue, right? Unbeknownst to me, I didn't even realize that. So that shit got shut down. You know what I'm saying? My condolences, Velvet. Right? We shut down the nail salon. But the thing that set it off, because we was like peacefully protesting and shit, you know what I'm saying? The police was there protecting them. And, we was turned up, but it was like on the level of 6. You know what I'm saying? But a 9-year-old child came with a bullhorn from down the block. And she was accompanied by like 6 or 7 other people. About 4 of them were women. She was 9 years old. She got on that bullhorn because the person that got assaulted was her family, right? So she had personal stock. She had skin in the game. She got on that bullhorn, and when she got on that bullhorn and started chanting down Babylon, the sky opened up, and the shit started downpouring, right? The Koreans seen that shit. They was out of there in less than 5 minutes. Because we shut down the nail salon on 888 Nostrand Avenue. Then we went down the block, a few blocks, to their other establishment. And we shut that shit down. That young sister, her name was Isis. Her name was Isis. She was 8 or 9 years old. I think she was 9. You know, I'm not going to stretch her age backwards to make the shit sound all fancy and line up with the 8s. She was 9, which means that, you know, now she'll be around 10. But she got there. Her name was Isis. It was on the 88 portal, right? All of this was missing. I didn't know because I didn't know her name was Isis. I didn't know that she was 9. I didn't know none of that, right? She got on the bullhorn, shut shit down, right? I get home. I'm putting 1 and 2 together later on. I see the footage go up. Sidnetter puts it up, and I catch on the fact that this girl's name is Isis. And I'm like, whoa, this shit hit directly on the Stargate. Like, this was the ancestors reincarnated, resurrected through this young lioness who was roaring. She ain't come for no play. She shut shit down, and then she got up out of there. Like, she was just about the business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's still closed. You know, so that's what we did on the last 8-8. You know, we bore witness to the power of the feminine, the divine feminine principle, and the fact that, you know what I'm saying, sometimes, you know, as men, you know, we can stand guard, but sometimes that's just to let her do what she got to do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're not the executioner. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're not the enactor always of justice. Sometimes we're just security. Sometimes we're just the assurance to let her know, look, we're here to protect you so you can do what you got to do. Because Shorty didn't have no fear. She ain't had no fear. She ran down on them Koreans in front of them police and got on that bullhorn, and she shut it down. And they got the fuck up out of there. Because they seen that sky open up and that motherfucking rain come down so quick. They was like, shoo. So, yeah, today, you know, today would be the day to be in observation of the divine feminine principle. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to, you know, assure yourself that you're doing something that is making a safer place, you know, for the melanated woman on this planet, you know, and her children. And it's a precarious time, of course, because of what the country is reminding itself that it's continuously been going through. You dig what I'm saying? This is not nothing new, per se, but it's a reminder, you know, and it's a play on people's attention, right, during this particular time, for them to be very much fearful when these portals are open, you know, because the portal has been opening up since like July 26th, and today is the pinnacle point of when it's open. You know what I'm saying? So all of this trauma, drama, hysteria, you know what I'm saying, all of these psyops have been taking place, you know, whilst this portal has been open. You know what I mean? And I don't know if words alone are going to settle the mind of the divine feminine if she's out here not feeling safe. You know what I'm saying? And why should she? You feel me? Like, the men don't got her back. Let's just be real. The men don't got her back. You know what I'm saying? The men don't have her back. And they don't have her in their best interest. 'Cause I don't even know if men know what is the best interest of the women. I don't see enough dialogue taking place. You know what I mean? To be like, yo, we know for sure, like, we woke up today knowing for sure that we're working towards the best interests of the women in our society. How could we? We don't have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a lot of back and forth shit goes on. You know what I mean? Men are not primarily concerned with saying, yo, like, what's the mental state of melanated women in this country right now based on all of the scare tactics and the fear and the lack of safety and shit going on, let alone the children, because nobody talks to the children. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks to the children. Nobody is concerned with their mental development during a time of living under fucking Trump. Right? Because, like, as adults, we could say, yo, like I said yesterday, I said, yo, we had to deal with Trump since the late 80s and the 90s in New York. When he took them ass out on them young boys, the Central Park 5, I was 12 or 13. Like, I was cognizant of that. My father used to always talk about how much of a piece of shit Donald Trump is and the fact that he wanted the death penalty for these young boys. So we knew, you know, I grew up in a household where I was constantly educated about the terrors and the horrors of this country. You know what I'm saying? So none of this shit surprises me at all, right? But the children, right? Like my nephew was born, right? My nephew was 1 when Barack Obama became president. So that's matter of fact, my brother tell you, that was the first word he said. Before he said mama, he said Obama. Right? So that's all some of these children have grown up knowing, right? My nephew grew up having the image, the symbolism of a celebrated, melanated man in his mind. You know what I'm saying? He was able to dream beyond what, you know, my generations underneath me may have been able to dream of because of our programming, right? We had all of the mental blocks. You know, they told us that we couldn't, we can't, this, that, and the other. You know, my nephew didn't grow up under that. He grew up under, I could do whatever, right? I know I can. He grew up on that type of energy. So now these children that have been so inspired by the symbolism of seeing someone that looks like them as the leader of the free world, right? Let's take politics outside of this, y'all, because children don't know the politics, right? Children don't know that, you know what I'm saying, Obama might be behind the drone program and he finalized AFRICOM and shit like that and LGBT. They don't know all that. They just know what they see. So, you know, they just saw an image of strength. They saw leadership, right? They were able to dream a dream that was unavailable to us. And now they living under fucking Trump. You know what I'm saying? So what does that do to the mind of the youth where this is their inauguration, right, if you will, into the realities of this world, the harsh realities into this world? Because we keep talking about, oh, this is nothing new for us and we known this and we grew up with this and that. But anybody think about the babies? Anybody think about the babies? Because this is the world that they're going to inherit. You know what I'm saying? So have we had any conversation with them about, yo, how do you see the world? You know what I'm saying? Are you fucking scared by what you're seeing on the news every day? You know, are you scared to go to school? Is this interfering with you, quote unquote, learning all of that BS that they in there teaching you? Like, and then when we finish that conversation, then we need to go to the women and ask them the same thing. Like, how is this interfering with your, you know, with your mindset? You know what I mean? We need you to be focused. We need you to create. You know what I'm saying? Is this fucking with your entire stasis? Like, do you not feel safe? Do you feel safe in the streets? Do you feel safe on the way to work or school? You know, there's a disproportionate amount of missing melanated women, you know, in this country that we don't get the opportunity to talk enough about. I don't know if we don't have talking points. Either we don't know, we don't care. I don't know what it is, right? But there's a lot of melanated women that are missing in this country. You know, more so in some areas than others. The DMV has a disproportionate amount of melanated women missing. You know, and nobody wants to look at the correlating factors and the connections and shit like that, because that stuff gets pushed to the realm of conspiracy theory, right? If you make the correlation to say, well, goddamn, a lot of them are missing in the DC area. Well, we just seen documentation that these folks is into organ harvesting and child rape and, you know, spirit cooking and all types of other shit. But then they're going to tell you, don't believe what your eyes see. You know, you can't believe anything that's coming from WikiLeaks. Or you could believe, but you could believe everything that's coming from CNN. But you could believe everything that's on the motherfucking cover of the New York Times. But you could believe everything that's coming from MSNBC. So you have to use your own level of discernment to say, why after all of these leaks, why after all this information has come forth, that these prolonged campaigns to scrub the internet have, you know, taken place, and they're very effective, because there's a lot of shit that you can't even find. I won't even mention the name of some of these programs anymore. But you can't find none of them shits on the internet no more. You can't find none of these sites that were, you know, up front pushing some of this information. Yeah, you can find the ones talking about aliens. Yeah, you can find the motherfucking conspiracy sites talking about moon landers and shit like that. But you're not going to find too many of them talking about Pizzagate. You're not going to find too many of them talking about spirit cooking and all the rest of the, you know, maniacal shit that these devils is into. I don't give a fuck what color they bang for, red or blue, Democrat or Republican. You know what I'm saying? A devil is a devil is a devil. You feel me? They jigging for something totally different. You dig what I'm saying? I'm surprised. Because so many people grew up in the church reading the Bible about the motherfucking devil and his spawn and his children. And you grew all the way up to throw the Bible away, to not see these motherfuckers for who they are and what they really into. You know what I'm saying? Peace, Lordy. So, on a day like today, 888 portal, Lionsgate, you know what I'm saying? Even though the lion is synonymous with the man and the masculine energy, this is a celebration of the divine feminine, because it's about Sirius, right? Constellation of Sirius, alignment with this planet. Well, alignment with the sun and with this planet, right? And how it perfectly aligns with the Giza pyramids taking place right now. Shout out to my homegirl Janae. She went to the pyramids to experience that shit in real time. So she's gonna be actually in the pyramid when the light hit, absorbing all of them sun rays, absorbing all of that cosmic information and downloads. You know what I mean? And this young lady, when she went on the last retreat with us, she has a particular signature about her energy. Now, this shit might sound far-fetched to y'all. You feel me? Because we deal with so much normalcy that it's fucking crazy, right? But she got a particular energy signature on her where she can make the sun blink. Right? Take it for what you want. You call me pseudo, you can point fingers, but guess what? I keep telling you, I got fucking witnesses and receipts. So I be baiting people so they could jump out and I could fuck around and demonstrate certain shit to you and be like, see, you shouldn't be so fixed in this little box that you exist in, because there's all kind of shit going on out here. There's all kind of people around you. You know what I'm saying? You just have no idea. So this young lady, she makes the motherfucking sun blink. So I'm like, you know, I'm just going to be amazed to see what type of power she comes back with. She took herself to Kemet so she could be in the pyramid on 8/8 when the motherfucking, you know, solar rays come through Sirius, cutting through the sun directly to the pyramids of Giza, and she's going to receive all of that. You know? So it's like, you know, these are the amazing people amongst us in these days and times. You know what I'm saying? That really are taking this experience to the next level, man, to supercharge themselves and get the best out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Peace, highs. Yeah. Her name is Janae. Her name is Janae. Right? Young melanated sister. Forks and Finds. That's her handle on Instagram. Right? Forks and Finds. She might be single. She might be single. But if she making the sun blink, son, you know what I'm saying? You need to come correct. Right? So today, like I said, is one of them celestial portal days that we're just mindful, you know what I'm saying? We're mindful of the divine feminine, what that means at this particular time, you know, when all of these fear campaigns are taking place. You know what I'm saying? What it means to you personally in your life. You know, do you need to contact Nana and you know, make sure that everything is cool? You know what I'm saying? Is you and your shorty on good terms? Is there something that you need to deal with? You feel me? Little young daughters in your household. You feel me? Like I said, are you having the right conversations with them at this particular time in terms of all of the fear campaigns that are taking place? Is it permeating through their subconsciousness where they're feeling fearful? Because, you know, these are the last things that we want. We don't want our women feeling fearful and manifesting that particular reality into this dimension. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that they are, you know, cognizant. They got all three eyes open. They see what's going on. They understand the shit for what it is. They're not getting fully pulled into the politics of the moment. You know what I mean? And somebody telling you that getting Donald Trump out of office is going to change the temperature of this motherfucking country, knowing goddamn well that Donald Trump is just he's just a golem. He's just a manifestation of an energy vector that existed way before he did. He's not responsible for this shit. You know what I'm saying? He's not responsible for this shit. He's just a manifestation of it. So removing him from the dialogue, removing him from something that you have to see every day is not going to make this shit go away. Who's willing to roll their sleeves up and do the hard work to really motherfucking expunge this shit? You know what I mean? You know what they say, that you gotta have that elbow grease? Who's ready to motherfucking expunge this shit and get the stain up out of here for real? Because it's gonna take life force. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some life force. You know? Yeah, he's a physical manifestation of it. You know? He's a conglomeration of all that is sick in this country. But this country is sick. You know what I'm saying? All of us along with it in varying degrees. You dig what I'm saying? In varying degrees. I existed on this plane of existence for 40 plus years, and I lived in this country. You know what I'm saying? There's some shit that's tethered to me that I'm still cutting myself off from. I'm being honest. Right? I love films with violence. This shit seeps into my music, right? I still listen to trap every now and then. I'm looking for the balance. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm honest enough with myself, to know every single day I need to work and work and work. I don't take no days off. And not just from being an entrepreneur, working on myself. You know what I'm saying? We're all entrepreneurs at heart because we all are doing the self-work that's necessary, you know what I'm saying, to be more comfortable with the image that you're looking back at when you're looking in the mirror. You feel me? Yeah, so I would definitely, recommend that, on a day like today when the emphasis is on sunlight and sun rays and the energy coming from Sirius and the constellation. I would sun gaze. I would get on the goal. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, like I said, the goal is the physical representation of that sun energy, right? We are in the sign of Leo, so you need to extra go into your sun bag. You know what I mean? So, sun gaze. If you don't know how to sun gaze, I don't think right now is the optimum time to sun gaze. You might have missed your window. You can sun gaze when the sun is going down. This is when you're releasing the things that you no longer want to be part of your reality or existence in your mind. You're just expunging yourself of the shit that's extra weight. I don't want this no more. Let this go. I don't claim it. I don't own it. Release it. You know what I mean? You do that when the sun is going down. Like when the sky starts looking red. You know what I'm saying? You sun gaze. You start off one eye, then you switch to the next eye. If you get that nice, you do it with both eyes. Open, sun gazing, letting that sun deposit itself in the back of your cerebral cortex so it could light that dark room up. You know what I'm saying? That box, which is the visual aspect of how you project this reality in front of you. All right? So yesterday, I just want to share with you as well. I went to an event out here in Atlanta. It was an Atlanta Black Tech Meetup. And it was the state of Atlanta Black Tech. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta is fashioning itself not as the next Silicon Valley, because they don't want to be the next Silicon Valley. Atlanta is fashioning itself as being a major tech hub, primarily one that services the melanated sector. You know what I'm saying? So these were all of the blurbs, right? The black nerds. These were the geniuses, and they got beautiful women in tech too. Some beautiful women in tech. You dig what I'm saying? It was dope, The brother Tristan Walker was there, the brother that made the bevel blade, right? He was there. They was giving great advice. They was giving great resources. A young sister was there. She was 26. She from Mississippi. She started her own bank online. What is it called? I forget the name of it, but I'm gonna post in my stories. I'm gonna screenshot, her website, and I'm gonna put that up. Dope site, you know what I'm saying? Dope concept, dope backstory about how she came up with the concept to create her own bank. This is for millennial generations, the millennials, the generations that are growing up in a cashless society. Generation Z and shit like that. These children that, straight into a cashless society. You know what I'm saying? They're understanding that finances are changing, that banking is changing. Some of them are bankable, some of them aren't. You know what I mean? So she got a whole service put together that caters specifically more so to this demographic, but it's educational, so you can learn more and more about the things that are taking place in this entire changing dynamic. there was some other, some dope sisters, that have founded companies that more so are geared towards women as well. Like companies for financing for minority women. You know what I'm saying? A brother was up there, a young brother. He got an app called Coins, Qoins, like like it sounds like coins spelled with the C, but it's coins spelled with the Q. You know what I'm saying? And that app is, I think it's like an app that helps you pay debt or something like that. It's whatever it is, it's slick. I remember, I went to the site and everything. I just don't recall as vividly and clearly in this moment. But yeah, check that out. Coins. You know what I'm saying? Dope apps. They got a dope startup community out here. They got accelerators and incubators. And it's a burgeoning scene. It's only getting bigger. It's gaining more momentum. You know what I'm saying? And it was a dope event, yo. Like, it was wall to wall in there. About 1,000 people, they said, RSVP, and just about as many showed up. And these were all melanated professionals. Majority of them was millennials. You know what I'm saying? And all of them were employed in some regards in the tech sector. Right? Like I said, a lot of them were nerds, blurbs. You know what I'm saying? But, peace, Ajna. Hey, Ajna. A lot of them were blurbs, what they call black nerds. But a lot of them were just your regular, everyday millennial folk, you know what I'm saying? Who were really stepping into some level of leadership in the tech space, claiming the tech space for their own. You know what I'm saying? Whether that is dealing with product creation, whether that is dealing with marketing, you know what I'm saying? Whether that's dealing with financing, whether that's dealing with the procurement of event spaces, like the spot that we was at, that we did the meetup at. It was called a gathering spot here in Atlanta. Melanated brother owns that. Very upscale, nice looking venue. You know what I'm saying? So there's people in Atlanta, young people that are on their success path. You know what I'm saying? That are making things happen, that are moving the needle forward, you know what I mean? And there's also, a celebrated class of elders here in Atlanta who have made things happen, you know what I'm saying? Who have their own society and what have you, if you will, you know what I mean? And, they're more like the civil rights, you know what I'm saying? The brothers that came through that. The name of the event was the Atlanta Black Tech State of the Union or some shit like that. I got it in my stories. You know what I mean? I got it in my stories. So, yeah, like, it was dope. And one of the gems that they had dropped, right, the brother Tristan Walker from Bevel Blade, one of the gems that he dropped, because he was, he's like the star of the show, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the most celebrated black tech geniuses amongst us because he popped off a very successful company in Silicon Valley, you know what I mean, amongst, the Europeans or what have you, and, he gained the level of success on his own terms. But what he did say, what he did share, and this is for aspiring entrepreneurs that are out there, he said if he could have done something different, what he would have had done different, he said that he would not have taken investors' money, right? He raised $39 million for his company, right? $39 million. Now, what we have to realize about that level of capital, right, or investment capital, period, once you raise that level of capital, you have to 10x your company. So if you've raised $39 million, you have to now figure out how you're gonna make $390 million, right, for your company, and then you got to pay that money back. You dig what I'm saying? So he didn't explain that, but I would imagine that he sold his company because of the pressures that came with him having to scale his company 10x. You know what I mean? And the fact that he had got valuations in one cycle that were too high, so then his valuation got, like all of that shit started taking place. You know what I mean? So he was talking about just the tricks and the things that happen when you start accepting investors' money. You know what I'm saying? Venture capitalists in particular. Everybody don't need investor capital. Everybody don't need no VC. You have to have a projected plan of how you're going to scale your business 10x before you touch any type of bread. So that was their biggest message, that for aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners out there, you need to know for sure. You need to have put your business through every metric possible before you go out there looking for money, asking for money, or accepting money. You got to know for sure, do you need this money? Do you need this money? You know what I'm saying? Or you just out here trying to look cute. You know what I mean? You want to be the motherfucking, that dude on the block. Because you got X amount of money thrown at you. Not knowing what sort of strings is attached. What comes with that? And we don't got big homies to have these conversations with us enough. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these communities. So that was dope. You know what I mean? Because there were a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs in that room. You know what I'm saying? There was, and that's what everybody was. There was, that was the question on everybody's mind. Yo, we need more funding. Atlanta is a great burgeoning market for tech, but the thing that Atlanta lacks the most is Atlanta's not a funding hub. New York, LA, Silicon Valley, San Francisco, you know what I'm saying? Those are technically places that tech entrepreneurs take their businesses because that's where the funding is. But the good brother, like he broke down, he's like, look, you might not need funding. You know what I'm saying? You might not need funding. Make sure that your plan is airtight. So when you do accept this money, first of all, you tightening up your plan will determine if you need this money. And then if in fact you do get the money, then you can execute. You know what I'm saying? You can execute, strategically to make sure that you're scaling your business 10x so you can make your quota and get these people their bread back so they won't be all in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Get your hand in my pocket. So, yeah, I thought that that was some dope advice. What else did they share that was key? Of course, they spoke about the lack of diversity in the industry, and I think you should understand what the fuck that's about. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's not rocket science. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. Like, they're not in no rush to open no doors up. It's a white male-dominated industry. You dig what I'm saying? So they're not even in a rush to open it up to women, white women, and none of that. It's a boys' club. You know what I mean? So, the family, they're gonna have to find very unique ways to infiltrate. You know what I'm saying? Or enough fortitude to build their own thing, right? Peace, brother Darren. They're gonna have to find ways to build their own thing that can stand independent of them being dependent on the good old white boys club in tech. You know what I mean? But I have faith, like I said, these are some forward thinking millennials, you know what I'm saying? And they seem to be on the right path to doing a 1-2 thing. You know what I'm saying? Putting everything together. And like I look forward to building with them more on a regular basis, getting more insight, into this industry, because I got some tech ideas. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I've never, I'm an entrepreneur. I have several businesses. I never received funding, on a level that's like super substantial. You know what I'm saying? I think I might have got a bump once or twice, $500. You know what I mean? Maybe the most, a rack. Right? I'm thinking hard. I don't want to leave nobody out here and not give them their acknowledgement. Right? I think Black Dot lent my brother $200 to jumpstart Kings County. Right? $200 loan turned into, a very productive, lucrative business. You know what I'm saying? I might have got a $500 loan and I never looked back. So, but I do have plans, for some of my businesses that will need some sort of funding. But that don't mean that I can't whip it up myself. You know what I mean? That don't mean that I can't get all the way focused and raise my own capital. That don't mean that I can't, take a cash infusion from one business and, make a loan to the other. Right? So, yeah, but, next year at their meetup, at the Atlanta Black Tech meetup or different Black Tech meetups, I would like to hear more conversation about blockchain. I would like to hear more conversations about, the utilization of cryptocurrency to close the wealth gap. I would like to hear more about social activism, utilizing these platforms and these apps to get people mobilized, you know what I'm saying? And some sort of compensation that goes along with mobilization, like getting paid to get up and move. You know what I'm saying? Love you too, bro. Yes, indeed. Peace, Lo. Brother was at the event. You know what I'm saying? Met some good people there. This was one of them. Right? Good brother we met at the event. So, couple this with the fact that, like I said, last week I went to a virtual reality class that's still taking place. StarseedAT.com. If you are in the New York area, these brothers have an endowment, right, which allows them to teach virtual reality classes and augmented reality classes for free. Video gaming classes. They're gonna teach you how to build your own video game. This is for free. They're in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn right now teaching. Right? Y'all seen Hidden Colors? Right? They're in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn right now teaching for free. So, at Paul Dio, that's his IG name, DEO, at Paul Dio, right? Go to the brother's page, register. You can still catch classes. I'm coming up this weekend to catch a few classes. You ain't got to be there every day. You catch certain classes, right? I had just went to the open house, and what I learned in an hour in an open house had me in virtual reality building out worlds, right? So I can only imagine if I give it a week or two straight of class, you know what I'm saying? And if I didn't have prior obligations, I definitely would be up in New York giving them 2 weeks of my time to learn a skill set that not only will last me a lifetime, but then I can monetize later on at some point and teach. You dig what I'm saying? and I learned it for free. You know, so holla at that brother. You know, and there's just not enough people that are responding to opportunities like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know. I can't speak on what you're doing with the days of your summer. I can't speak on how your summer's playing out. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak on, you know, how you allocate your time. You know, because a lot of this stuff just drops in people's laps, right? And I might be set up differently where I might be able to move with information, you know, at the drop of a dime in the speed of light. Everybody's not set up the same way, and I get it. But for courses like that are free, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why there's not like 2 dozen, 3 dozen people that be in them rooms like soaking up this information, knowing damn well, you know, that, you know, make you a video game and you know what I'm saying? Do your 1-2 thing, like, you know. But I mean, people might not get the importance right now of virtual reality, right? People might not get the importance of augmented reality, even though they only, you know, they see their children on the phone all day with the filters. That's augmented reality, putting the bunny ears and shit on you and all of that stuff that the children is doing with the filters. Yeah, that's AR. That's augmented reality. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, coupled with my experience that I had last week by going to the AR and VR class, and then yesterday going to the Black Tech Meetup, you know what I mean? Like, these are interesting times. You know what I'm saying? These are interesting times, and I want to you know, merge these worlds and these networks and broaden it, you know, and make it a lot more bigger than just an Atlanta black tech situation. Like, we need to mobilize our tech minds globally. You know what I'm saying? I put up an article yesterday, and it said that there was 44 startups in Africa who had raised more than $1 million in funding. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really be overlooking Africa in this conversation when it comes to tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, Africa is on their shit when it comes to tech. You know, Africa's on their shit when it comes to their startups. Like, they know how to put these companies together. They know how to get funding. You know, they know how to do a lot with a little. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm gonna holler at you, low. Okay? Yeah, blurs are important. You know what I'm saying? We need to protect the blurs, the women, and the babies. How about that? That's a t-shirt. Protect the blurs, the women, and the babies. Okay? But this light, I mean this live, should I say, is gonna be cut off, but this light is not gonna be cut off. Go get you some. Go tap into this source. This constellation is Sirius. This Sirius constellation, Lionsgate portal energy that's streaming today on 8/8. Go soak it up. You know what I'm saying? Go soak it up. Enjoy it. Pass the positivity on. You know, tell somebody in your life that you love them today. Case in point, in particular, a woman. You know what I'm saying? Just do some extra gratifying shit for the divine feminine today to be in alignment with this energy. You know, be a real fucking Leo. You know what I'm saying? That's very much kingly about yourself, young man. Okay? Peace, love, and light, y'all.